Hi, my name is Rune Fjellheim, and I'm going to talk to you about a set of principles that the Sami Council have developed to address the question of data sovereignty in the Sami society. I will put them up here as a QR code now, and also as the same QR code at the end of my intervention. First of all, let me take this opportunity to thank you for the invitation to join you at the Global Indigenous Data Sovereignty Conference 2025 on Ngunnawal and Ngambri country. For generations, indigenous peoples around the world, including the Sami, have faced exploitation, particularly through academia and research institutions. And while academia is often perceived as an inherently positive force for knowledge, it has historically operated as an extractive industry, mining indigenous communities for their cultural knowledge, traditions, languages, and biological data. Often these institutions define what counts as knowledge and who is recognized as the legitimate holder of that knowledge. This historical monopoly over defining and controlling knowledge has marginalized indigenous perspectives and excluded indigenous communities from the process of knowledge creation itself. Indigenous data has frequently been collected, interpreted, and published without meaningful participation or consent, eroding the rights and autonomy of indigenous peoples, including the Sami. Recognizing and confronting this legacy is essential for creating a more ethical, respectful, and equitable approach to research involving indigenous peoples. In response to this historical injustice, indigenous communities have developed frameworks to guide ethical data management. A prominent example is the CARE principles, established to ensure that indigenous data governance aligns with indigenous people's rights and interests. It's the collective benefit, ensuring that the data serves indigenous communities and peoples. Authority to control, ensuring indigenous governance of data. Responsibility, ensuring ethical data management. And ethics, ensuring that all handling of data prioritizes indigenous people's welfare and values. The CARE principles marked an important step forward, but from the Sami Council's perspective, something crucial was missing: an explicit recognition of ownership. The Sami Council has therefore introduced the SODA principles, Sami ownership and data access. These build directly upon CARE, but emphasize a critical new principle, Sami ownership. This explicit addition clarifies that the Sami society have the fundamental right to own their data, placing ownership firmly at the center of Sami data sovereignty. Why ownership, you might ask? Well, ownership provides clear recognition that data about Sami lives, lands, culture, and communities belong primarily and permanently to the Sami people. This explicit ownership principle empowers the Sami society by ensuring they are recognized as rights holders rather than merely stakeholders. But how does recognizing ownership relate to the broader goal of data sharing, you might ask? Ownership is essentially precisely because it creates clarity, trust, and respect, critical conditions for meaningful sharing. When ownership rights are clearly established and respected, the Sami society can confidently participate in research partnerships and data sharing initiatives. Establishing clear ownership removes ambiguity and anxiety around the use of indigenous data. It enables the Sami society to participate in data sharing according to internationally recognized standards particularly the FAIR principles. Findable, clearly owned data is easier to manage, identify and catalog. Accessible, respecting ownership, establishes clear and ethical guidelines for data access, eliminating confusion around who can grant access. Interoperable, ownership provides the confidence required for data to be openly discussed and integrated, knowing the foundational rights of indigenous peoples are respected. And reusable, clear ownership conditions foster trust, enabling the Sami society to share data for broader scientific, cultural or social purposes, knowing that their rights will be safeguarded. Without recognized ownership, fair sharing becomes difficult or impossible. Ambiguity and mistrust prevent genuine productive cooperation. Ownership, therefore, is not a barrier to data sharing. It is precisely what makes ethical, fair and sustainable sharing possible. To make Sami ownership meaningful, concrete actions are necessary, and we are not there yet. It needs education and awareness. Researchers and institutions must be educated on Sami ownership principles to foster genuine understanding and collaboration. Capacity building. The Sami society must have the resources and skills to assert and maintain their ownership rights. And policy development. Clear policies and guidelines on Sami ownership must be established within all research collaborations and institutions. And monitoring and evaluation. Continuous evaluation and adjustment ensure Sami ownership rights remain respected and properly implemented. In conclusion, recognizing Sami ownership of data is a crucial corrective to historical injustices perpetuated by extractive academic practices. It is also a powerful enabling factor for ethical and respectful data sharing, facilitating participation according to the FAIR principles. The Sami Council firmly believes ownership must precede sharing, not as a means to restrict data, but as a fundamental step towards fostering genuine trust, dignity, and respectful collaboration. In doing so, we ensure that the Sami society remain at the center of decisions about their cultural and social future. By respecting Sami ownership, we move towards a future in which indigenous data contributes meaningfully and ethically to global knowledge, while safeguarding Sami rights and sovereignty. Olugito, thank you so much, and I wish you all a fruitful discussion on your conference.